Hey, friends! This time we're looking at a cultural touchstone of sorts, a product of the disco craze that swept the country in the mid to late 1970s. That's right, this time we're talking about Thank God It's Friday from 1978. So, what the hell is this thing about, anyway? Well, essentially, this movie follows several people over the course of a night at the hottest disco in Los Angeles. We have these two nebbishy guys who are looking to score with some chicks. These two girls are underage but want to sneak into the disco to participate in the big dance contest the disco is having that night. We have these two ladies looking for love. We have this square couple on their anniversary. She wants to go to the disco because it's an adventure, but he's uptight and not interested, but they go. There's this irritating garbage collector who's supposed to show up and have a blind date with this school teacher lady, and they don't really hit it off. There's a DJ trying to make it big, and he's under pressure because the music is going out live on the radio, and he's arranged to get the Commodores to perform. But they don't have their instruments because this guy is lost on the highway. We have this lady trying to catch a break if only the DJ will play her record. We have the club owner who macks on the square wife. We have this chick, a dental assistant, I guess, who dresses up in a wig and whatnot and doles out pills to the square husband. And we have the Leather Man, a guy who wears leather and suede and lives only to dance. He's in the big dance contest. And that's your story right there. That's it. We follow these people over the course of an evening at the disco. A few of them interact over the course of the movie, but as a rule, we see each pair mostly on their own navigating the disco scene at the club. The movie was made on the cheap and was trying to cash in on the more famous Saturday Night Fever by using Friday in the title to make a connection to weekends. It was a stretch, but that's why they called it Thank God It's Friday. It made a mint, by the way, not counting the record sales of the soundtrack album. In our cast, we have some name brands, besides the Commodores with Lionel Richie. We have a young Jeff Goldblum, always a treat, as the club owner and ladies' man. We have Donna Summer singing her signature song, Last Dance, and we have Debra Winger in her theatrical debut. We also have Terri Nunn as one of the underage girls. She doesn't sing here, but she went on to front for the band Berlin, whose most famous track was Take My Breath Away, the theme song to Top Gun. She was also on the short list to play Princess Leia in Star Wars, and could have played Lucy Ewing on Dallas, but didn't want to sign a long-term contract. That role went to Charlene Tilton instead. What might have been. So, is this thing any good? Well, yeah, I think so. Although reviled by critics at the time, Thank God It's Friday is kind of fun to watch, and it only runs about 89 minutes. In a weird, exaggerated way, it accurately depicts what a big city disco was like back in the heyday of disco. Disco was not just a musical genre, it was a cultural movement. It had its own fashion and community and language. It rode the crest of the sexual revolution and the recreational drug scene, incorporating both into the disco clubs of the major metropolitan areas. We see that in the movie. At the time, disco music was seen as mindless, empty-headed, and kinda commercial. Some people just outright hated it. True, disco was not Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra. It wasn't Elvis or the Beatles or rock and roll, but you can't deny there's something about it. It's fun and kinda gets you moving. Interestingly, on record albums from the disco era, the tracks would often list something called BPM, beats per minute. That would tell the person playing the music whether the track was fast, slow, or moderate, allowing them to program the music for a dance. As for highlights, here we have Donna Summer singing Last Dance, and the Leatherman's dance on the Cars. That definitely had overtones of being cribbed from Singin' in the Rain. When I heard that the actor who played the Leatherman passed away a few years ago, I thought the owners of these cars must have finally caught up with him. I mean, look at him, dance on those cars and those platform shoes. That's gonna scuff the paint and leave dents for sure. And in the end, he falls right through that convertible top. That ain't cheap to fix, man. Dude, he doesn't even own those cars. I know he loves dancing, but still, talk about rude. This sequence, incidentally, probably inspired a cutscene from Licorice Pizza, in which this guy dances while trashing some cars, which he also doesn't own. Disco as a movement came and went, but there are still traces of its DNA in the awesome sound of the 1980s, and even today, you can hear hints of disco in the background of modern house and dance music. I'm giving Thank God It's Friday 2 1/4 paws. Maybe that's generous, but the movie is kinda fun and shows us what the disco scene was kinda like back in the day. The music is fine, and we have a young Jeff Goldblum too, so there's that. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Gotta get down, got the fever, yeah.